Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy, my channel's Finding Value. I was scrolling through the comment section. Someone said, is there any way that you can see demand for real estate? How do you gauge it? What do you look at? I'm going to do a real estate clip here. And the way that I view demand is you can see it through the decline in inventory. Once inventory starts reaching critical levels, you start to see a decline in days on the market. And right now we see a decline in everything. We see a decline in active listings, which is your inventory. You see a decline in days on the market, and then you see prices skyrocket. And then the next signal after those, when they get to critical levels, is you should see the housing starts start to increase. Because what happens is you literally run out of existing inventory of existing homes. And then the next thing that people hit is they go to new home. They go to a new house. They look at home builders and say, let's build a new house. Because there's nothing else that I can buy on the market because it's too competitive and prices get driven upward. Right now, we've got prices going upward on existing residential real estate, and we also have new home builds where their input costs are going up alongside this. We are also seeing rent prices go up dramatically, 20% year over year rent prices. I know they raised it 20% for the house down the block for their rent prices, and what that did with one of my neighbors is they decided to not pay the rent, and they went and bought a house which was cheaper to buy the house versus renting. So what people are doing is they're doing the analysis just like any logical, rational being would do, and they'd say, all right, I've got money. I'm currently renting. They're going to jack the rent price up. I'm going to go buy a house. And people are doing that all over the place. Lots of people are buying homes. Lots of people are also renting, at least in the state and city that I'm in. So I'm going to go over real estate here. I'll show you kind of my opinion on it and how you can see what demand is doing. So I call this real estate. And what I have here is the housing inventory or active listing count in the United States. And what you see from 2017, this was way up here before 2017, but this has been declining over time. Declining, which means that we have more buyers than sellers. And whenever you have that scenario, you're going to see your housing inventory decline over time. Here's your active listing count over many years, looking at it from a different perspective. 2016, 2017, 2018 in the red, 2019 in the blue, 2020, and we are just continuing to eat through inventory, which means there's more buyers than sellers. If there are more buyers than sellers, house prices will go up in price, and it's going to kick on housing starts. And what we see here, the red line's the yearly average. We are kicking up the housing starts as the inventory's continually declining over the years. You saw that 2016 had less homes for sale than 2017 versus 2018, 2019, 2020. And this is actively turning on the housing starts for building new homes. So they're building new homes. They're starting to build new homes. And we're going into an expansion phase, which is going over the red line average. Now, the S&P Case-Shiller National Home Price Index has been going up since 2011. So what has happened since 2011, 2012 is your inventory has been declining year over year, every single year since 2012. This trend has been in place since 2011, 2012. Inventory has been getting eaten up, house prices have been going higher, and housing starts have been increasing. COVID has done nothing for this. COVID is no reason. It hadn't done anything different. We've just been eating through all the inventory year after year, and we got to critical levels, and it just so happened to coincide with COVID. Here's the median listing price, looking at it from a different perspective, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 2021. It's gone up every single year quite smoothly because we've had declining inventory. And as inventory has declined over these years, you can see a steady, slow downtrend in days on the market. This is median days on the market, and we are at critically low levels. Whenever your inventory runs out, what happens is you have a whole stack up of buyers. Your stack up of buyers are literally waiting for homes to come on the market, and then they have to pounce on it and put an offer in as fast as they possibly can to make sure they get the house. So this is where you have a ton of different offers on a single home. You've got people bidding over the asking price, trying to lock in the house so that they can move in it versus someone else. It becomes a bidding war of whoever can afford the house the most easily and is willing to pay the most for it. So this is all aligning where you have inventory declining, your days on the market decline, and your housing starts all go up, because rather than fighting in this ferocious market over listings that come on, you can just say, well, you know what? I'm going to buy a new house. And a lot of people are doing that. Here's days on the market looked at it from a different way. It's 16's the blue line, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20's the green line, and then 2021's way low. So we've just been walking down days on the market year over year over year, and our active listings, our inventory getting dried up, is now signaling the days on the market to drop, because people are now actively bidding, going into bidding wars against each other for what inventory is left. And now what you're going to see is you're going to see a flood of buyers go and buy new homes, which is going to increase the housing starts. Here's the newly listed homes. We can see that we've got a bunch new listing count, and we're very low in new home builds down here. So newly listed homes, they're gonna continue to go up in listing counts. I think going forward, if we can get some of these supply constraints and lumber prices and all this other stuff, all these different problems from supply chain, we got to get that fixed for this listing count to really head higher for new housing starts. So that's basically the overall gist of the entire real estate market and how I view it. It starts with inventory. Once the buyers outweigh the sellers, your inventory starts to decline. We've been in a declining inventory environment since 2011, 2012. We've declined and eaten through the entire amount of inventory. And there's so many buyers that we are not building enough new homes. We are dwindling down the inventory. We got to critical levels on inventory, which is basically flushed out. And now there's so many buyers per home that we are getting into bidding wars, and the median days on the market are declining rapidly. When that declines rapidly, people are going to shift their preference from trying to fight and get a home through the existing residential real estate with the low inventory, and they're going to shift their preference and try to buy a new house. Now, I know that people are going to say, well, it's all about affordability. At this point, we have so little homes that we have to price more people out of the market. They can't be in the market. There's too many buyers and not enough sellers. So we need to drastically ramp prices up to basically tamper down the buying demand, because price is the equalizing factor here, right? We need to price out maybe 10, 15 buyers for every house. If we have a 20 to 1 or 15 to 1 ratio of buyers to sellers, they're going to go over to new home builds and they're going to try to build new homes. But right now, the new home builds are all jacked up with lumber prices and shortages of whatever that is. So that's why you're seeing your newly listed homes decline. We're not flowing all these materials into new home builds. Eventually we will, and we're going to build new homes, and we're going to have to build our way out of this. Or those people are going to have to go and live in apartments or rent or something. And there's a bunch of those being built at the moment as well. So it all depends on what people can afford. I do agree with that. But then that just means they're going to buy something else or rent or do whatever, something different than buying a single family home. They might have to buy a multifamily home, or they'll have to buy a townhouse or whatever it is. But this is the overall gist of the real estate market. Hopefully this helps you guys out understanding what the real estate market is and the situation that we're in today. If you guys like this content, give me a thumbs up. Thanks for listening. This is Finding Value.